Yes, dear students, from last lecture we were studying about diffraction phenomenon, in which we have discussed how the diffraction pattern gets. Then the diffraction at a thin wire. Now we will see the diffraction pattern shown by the scientist Fraunhofer by using a double slit method. See now, this is a lens, this is a screen. Here AB and CB are the two rectangular slits which are parallel to one another, and these slits are perpendicular to the plane of the paper. See the ray diagram, which is very important one, and we will discuss this array diagram. The width of these slits is A here, and the width of the opaque portion is B. This is the opaque portion. In last lecture we have already discussed about the opaque portion. Opaque portion is the portion when there are number of lines are scratched by the, we can say, fine quality of a diamond. Then the distance between the two parallel lines is known as opaque portion. Here the distance or the width of the opaque portion is B. L is nothing but a collimating lens, and MN is a screen. This MN is a screen which is perpendicular to the plane of the paper. This P is a point on a screen. Let a plane wavefront is incident on the surface XY. This is a surface XY. On this plane surface XY, a wavefront is incident on it. All the secondary waves are traveling in a direction parallel to OP, which comes to focus at P. Here we are getting the focus. Therefore, this P corresponds to the position of central bright maximum. Here we get the central bright maximum. Now, here the point P corresponds to the position of central bright maximum. Now see, the diffraction pattern has to be considered in the two parts. These two parts we will discuss here. See, do one thing, you have to draw this diagram on your notebook, on your paper, which will be helpful for us for the geometry of this ray diagram as well as for better understanding it will be helpful for us. Then the diffraction pattern has to be considered in two parts. The first part is the interference phenomenon due to the secondary waves emanating from the corresponding points of the two slits, and second part, the diffraction pattern due to the secondary waves from the two slits individually. Now, for calculating the positions of the interference maxima and minima, the diffracting angle is denoted as theta, and for the diffraction maxima and minima it is denoted by phi. Both the angles theta and phi refer to the angle between the direction of the secondary waves and the initial direction of the incident light. See friends, here again, for better understanding we have been drawn the diagram here, forgetting the first part, that is interference maxima and minima. Now this B to C is a opaque portion, width of the opaque portion is B, this A and B, this is a slit having a width A, and this is angle theta, this is theta, this is nothing but a M and N. Now we will consider the secondary waves traveling in a direction inclined at an angle theta with the initial direction. Now see here, in the triangle CAN, this is C, this A and this N. In this triangle, sine of theta is nothing but Cn upon AC. Cn upon AC means this sine of theta, Cn is Cn upon this AC, and therefore Cn will be as it is, but AC, what is the value of AC? It is nothing but A plus B. See here in this diagram, this A, width of the slit, and B is width of opaque portion. Therefore, see here, Cn upon A plus B, here Cn equals to A plus B into sine of theta. Here, if this path difference is equal to odd multiples of lambda by 2, then the theta gives the direction of minima due to the interference of the secondary waves from the two sides, and therefore Cn equals to A plus B sine of theta suffix n. And see here, 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2, this is nothing but by putting the values of A plus B, because it is odd multiple of lambda by 2. This is equation 1. If we are going to put n equals to 1, 2, 3, etc., then we the values of theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, etc., and corresponding to the direction of minima can be obtained. From this above equation, sine of theta suffix n equals to twice n plus 1 into lambda upon twice in bracket A plus B. This is equation 2. See, on the other hand, if the secondary waves travel in the direction theta, such the path difference is even multiples of lambda by 2, then theta gives the direction is the maxima due to the interference of light waves emanating from the two slits. Therefore, here Cn equals to a plus b bracket close sin of theta suffix n equals to 2n into lambda by 2, and here if we are going to calculate sin of theta, that is n lambda upon a plus b, we will denote it as equation number 3. See from the equation number 2 we get here sin of theta 1 equals to 3 lambda upon 2 in bracket a plus b, and sin of theta 2 equals to this odd multiple, that is a 5 lambda twice a plus b, and by getting if we are going to subtracting sin of theta 2 minus sin of theta 1 equals to lambda in bracket a plus b. This is nothing but a fourth number equation. Thus the angular separation between any two consecutive minima or maxima is equal to lambda a plus b. The angular separation is inversely proportional to a plus b, the distance between the two slits. This a plus b is the distance between two slits, because a is the width of that slit and b is the width of the opaque portion. Then second part, that is a diffraction maxima and minima. For that we will consider the secondary waves traveling in a direction inclined at an angle phi with the initial direction of the incident light. If the path difference bm is equal to lambda, then the wavelength of light used, then phi will give the direction of the difference minimum as shown in figure. Therefore, see here you have to draw the figure on separate page, due to which for when you are watching the video, at that time put it in front of you, and then you will get the idea about the figure. And therefore it is nothing but the path difference between the secondary waves emanating from the extremities of the slit at its points A and B, and it is nothing but is equal to lambda. Now considering the wavefront on AB to be made up of the two halls, the path difference between the corresponding points of the upper and lower halls is equal to lambda by 2. The effect at P due to the wavefront incident on AB is 0. Similarly, for the same direction of the secondary waves, the effect at P due to the wavefront incident on the slit CE is also 0. In general, we can write A of A sin of theta suffix n equal to n, and n we can put 1, 2, 3, etc. the values of phi 1, phi 2, phi 3, etc. corresponding to the direction of diffraction minimum can be calculated. In this way, the Fraunhofer diffraction at a double slit, by this formula we can calculate the Fraunhofer diffraction and what is its value at a double slit, by which we will get the correct answer. In next lecture we will see the next article from this, that is a plane transmission grating, which is very interesting one, as far as it having a practical application in a secondary also. Therefore today we will stop here. Thank you very much.